Welcome to Tia's Table, where there's always good food and good conversation. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey girl, welcome back to Tia's Table. I'm Tia, an accountability coach. I help women live a healthier life in a low maintenance way. Today on Tia's Table, we still are talking about meal planning and how to make that work for us and why it is important. I feel that meal planning is one of the key things that stands in the way of most women remaining consistent on their fitness journey. So let's talk a little bit more about meal planning. If you missed the first episode this month, go back and take a listen to that because we really do open up the conversation and I share lots of tips and helpful strategies in that other episode of January 2022. But today we're going to talk about burnout because during the meal planning strategy class, I had someone ask about that. How do you overcome burnout? How do you create meal plans that, are meal plans that you would want to eat and that also feed your family? If you have a spouse or a partner, you want to, make meals that will accommodate everyone's palates and the way that they like to eat, right? So for me personally, the way that I overcome burnout is by building in days off from cooking into my meal plan. So when I look at a 7-day week, which we all look at 7 days a week, right? When I look at those 7 days, I automatically plug in a day that we're going to eat leftovers, and I plug in the days that I know for a fact we're going to eat takeout. And if I know that we're going to eat takeout, I don't plan to cook, which, sounds like common sense. But I think when the idea of meal planning crosses a lot of people, they just look at 7 days like, wow, I'm going to be cooking for 7 days. And of course, if you cooked, every single day, all month long, you would eventually get to a place where you would be burnt out. So when you are meal planning, consider scheduling days in there that you won't be cooking, where people will either be eating leftovers or you'll be eating out. Another way to avoid burnout, I think, is by mixing things up. When you eat a variety of different things and you source your food from a variety of different places, it keeps you from physically having to make all of those meals. For example, if you like smoothies, consider substituting one of your meals for a smoothie. And a smoothie is an easy thing to do for like breakfast or lunch, right? I know a lot of people like doing those juice detoxes or like those juicing programs where they drink really healthy juices throughout the day and then maybe they have a salad for lunch. Now, I cannot speak to that because I have never. Girl, when I think about drinking juice every day for like a week, that literally makes me sad like instantly. So I've never tried one of the juicing programs, but I know people do them. People say they like them. People say they see results from them. If you're interested in that and you like juice, think about something like that. Also, never underestimate some of these meal delivery services. I suggest them to my clients all the time, that if you're a busy person and maybe, you're open to ordering food and having it delivered to you, or you're able to go pick it up, get like a week's worth of meals and kind of make it work for you. You don't have to always eat those meals for lunch. You can mix it up and maybe have a few of them for lunch during the week, use a few of them for dinners during the week if your family is going to be eating something else. You just have to get really creative with the way that you're going to be providing these meals for yourself. Other fun ways that I like to kind of make sure I'm not experiencing burnout is by trying new flavors, trying new recipes, trying to make some of the foods that I would get from a restaurant. So something that I would order off of a menu, I try recreating those at home in a healthier way. That keeps me kind of interested in what I'm cooking and what I'm eating every week. And it makes it fun for me. Meal planning allows us to avoid scrambling for ideas every day of the week. So when you think about meal planning, if you live alone, you have so many options that are available to you You could cook, you can order out, you can juice, you can do smoothies, you can do whatever you want because you're only planning for yourself. If you are in a relationship or you do have a family, you have children, and you're meal planning for more than just you, I would say it always helps me to first think about what am I making for my family, right? Once I determine what I'm going to make for them, then I look at that menu and see what of that could I possibly eat, because we don't ever want to get into a situation where we are making multiple meals every day, right? If I'm making them something and maybe I can eat like the protein, but I really don't want to eat the carbs, then I know I can plan to have a substitute for the things that I don't want to eat. That's one way of going about meal planning. Another way, obviously, is to cook all of your food on Sunday and have it packaged and ready to go for yourself all throughout the week. And that works for a lot of people who are too busy during the day to take the time to like make a lunch or order a lunch or go get one. So you just kind of have to think about your lifestyle, your family dynamic, and what makes sense to you that will allow you to be consistent with it. Obviously, for most people, and even for myself, it's not realistic for me to think that I'm going to cook every day. Mainly, girl, because I don't want to. I don't want to be cooking every day. That used to be my life. When my kids were really, really little, when they were babies, I used to cook. And if you remember me from my mommy blogger days, you know I used to share our monthly meal calendar, and I used to cook almost every single day. That is not the life that I live anymore. These days, I give myself days off and I make people eat leftovers. Or I say, ooh, today is Friday. What do you want to eat? And I'm going to go get it. Because you have to give yourself a break. It can't always be all on all the time. But what I make sure I do is I just make sure I have a plan in place for myself so that if my kids, if they want to go eat wings and fries on Friday after school, I say, okay, they're going to get wings and fries. No problem. I'm going to get, like a salad, or I'll make sure I have the stuff at home to make a salad, like whatever it's going to be. I just plan to have a different meal for myself. So as we are all meal planning this month and all throughout the year, hopefully, just remember to always try to keep it fun. Don't overthink it. Don't try to overplan. Definitely don't make yourself feel like you have to cook every day. And also remember to use the strategy of cooking while you're cooking. So if you're already in the kitchen making something for your family or for yourself, if you can, make more than one thing at a time. You can make egg muffins for the week for breakfast while you are also, making your children tacos. You see what I'm saying? Try to cook while you're cooking so that way you're in the kitchen and out of the kitchen all at once. So if you have any other questions about meal planning and how to make it work for you, reach out to me on Instagram at TiaVFitness, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you about that. So let's move right into consistency, because that is our topic of the month. I did a FaceTime call with one of my ladies, and during that call, she asked me about my own consistency and how I'm able to kind of stay on path more often than not. And after we got off the phone, I kind of thought about that, because I don't think that that's something that I've shared really ever. I don't think anybody else has ever asked me that, to be honest. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. But I thought that I would share it here during our phone call today too, girl, because you might find it helpful for yourself. So how is it that some people are able to remain consistent, or where does their drive come from? If you struggle with consistency, maybe these are some of the things that you've thought about. So I'll share how I'm able to do it. And before I do, let me just give this disclaimer that it probably is not what you think it is going to be. You probably think I'm about to come from a very textbook place with this, and I'm going to be completely honest and transparent and say that my consistency and my ability to stay on the wagon purely comes from the fact that I don't ever want to feel bad about myself. It is just as simple as that. When I started having kids and I knew my body was going to go through changes every few years from having said children, I promised myself a long time ago that I knew motherhood would be a journey and that it was already going to be a lot. Some days it is more than I can even handle. But I promised myself, I was like, this is going to be a lot. So what we're going to do, Tia, and this is me talking to myself, we're going to eliminate any other thing that would possibly stress you out or make you feel bad about yourself. So I said to myself, I'm going to make myself a promise, and I'm going to make sure that I always, on some level, feel good about myself, because there will be days where I doubt myself, where I'm stressed out, where I'm tired, where I just won't feel really good about the effort that I gave that day. But I always, at the end of it all, want to feel good about myself. So, I might not have had the energy to play a million rounds of hide and seek that day. And I might have tapped out after that third one. And maybe I have a little bit of mom guilt about that. But at the end of the day, I'll say to myself, but girl, you still do feel good about you still do feel good about yourself. Or, you might feel like you're not always making the right decisions, but at the end of the day, you're like, but I do still feel really good about myself and my abilities. So I promised myself that very early on, and I even apply that to the way I look physically. And I just say, I always want to feel good about myself, because I know that there will be times where it's possible that I want, and I don't ever want to be a source of my own frustration. I don't ever want to get to a place where I'm frustrated about me, because that is under my direct control by what I eat and how active I am. So in order for me to avoid, being frustrated about myself, I'm going to try to always do whatever I can to make sure that I never feel that way. And that's what keeps me motivated. It keeps me trying more days than I don't. It keeps me saying, I really don't feel like working out today, but I'm going to at least do 20 minutes of something. I really, really do want some Chinese food, but, let me eat this chicken wrap because we're trying to do right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what works for me. And on some level, I know that sounds like absolute vanity, and it probably is, but I want to have a good self-esteem. I want to feel like I can walk past a mirror and I always want to look at myself, because to me, I'm like, if I don't love myself and I don't check myself out and I don't pat myself on the back and I don't tell myself like, dang girl, you look good, even when I have on sweatpants and a Nike baseball cap, then how can I expect anyone else to do it, right? I want to be able, like Alex, my boy Alex on the Peloton app, like he says, validate yourself. I want to be able to validate myself and it come from a genuine place. I want to say to myself, even when I know I have not filled in my eyebrows, if I pass by a mirror, I want to be like, dang girl, you still look good, Tia. And this is not even your best. We're not even presenting the best possible, like dressed up version of ourselves. And girl, we still look good. We are killing it out here in this hoodie and these leggings, right? That's the energy I want to have every single day. And I think I understood a long time ago that in order for me to have that energy, I have to work out and I have to eat well, because it all goes together. So when you think about creating that type of energy for yourself, I think that comes from a lot of different places. I think that comes from affirming yourself. So if you're not in the habit of saying positive, nice things to yourself, that's definitely something that you want to get in the habit of doing, is complimenting yourself. I don't think people should wait for, other people to tell them nice things about themselves. I think that we should be in the habit of telling ourselves nice things about ourselves every single day. And I know that sounds weird, but let me tell you, I have been practicing this for a long time. And when you tell yourself nice things and you build yourself up in that way, when you hype yourself up, you develop a certain level of confidence that is really hard to shake. So even if somebody were to walk up to me and be like, "Ooh, girl, you look tired," because don't people like telling you that? Why do people do that? Why do people love to say, "Ooh, girl, you sound tired," or "Ooh, girl, you look tired," when you could be well rested and full of all of the energy and you could be having a good day? Somebody will say to you, like, "Ooh, you look tired. Like, you feeling okay?" Isn't that always such a vibe killer? I hate it when people do that to me because it always comes out of left field, and it's always kind of like, no, I was actually feeling great. But what you just said to me without saying it is that I look beat down, right? But even when that happens to me, because it does, even when that happens to me, I say to myself, "Oh my God, that person is crazy." Because, I mean, yeah, I might not be dressed up today. I might not have on what we call a real outfit, real street clothes. But, girl, I look good. Like, I'm killing these sweats. Like, do you see it? Do you see me? I know you do, because you said I look tired, but I don't. I'm just not dressed up, but I'm not tired. I didn't fill in my eyebrows today, but I'm not tired, you know? And it's hard to shake. Like, when you are telling yourself good things about yourself often enough, eventually you will start to believe it if you don't already. And then at some point, it will just be the way that you think. It will just be the way that you think, even if you are not where you want to be on your fitness journey, right? Even if you weighed yourself today and you didn't like the number that you saw. Even if you measured yourself with measuring tape and you felt like you wanted to do some fitness math and do a little bit of subtracting from those inches, all of those things could be true. But if you are telling yourself positive things, if you are affirming yourself and hyping yourself up, I guarantee you, you will start to feel better about yourself. And no one will be able to stop you. No one will be able to shake that confidence. Trust me, I know. No one will be able to make you feel any kind of way about yourself because you have already decided in your mind that it is so, that like you're killing it out here. And once you decide that for yourself, once you start moving in a way where your energy is just on some, on a whole nother like baddie level, no one is going to be able to rock that confidence. I think it is perfectly okay. You know how like growing up, people would be like, "Oh my gosh, she thinks she's all that." Or maybe we would say that about other girls, or maybe other girls would say that about you. But either way, it was a thing people said. I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with a woman thinking that she's all that. I would actually prefer for you to think you're all that. Those are the kind of girls I want to hang around. I want those kind of girls to be my friends. The ones that just think like, ooh, like nothing can stop me, nothing can touch me, like I'm out here killing it. That is the energy I want you to have. Think about that. If all women had that level of confidence, but we were still nice and sweet to each other, right? So as long as our hearts were still in the right place on the inside, but we just move with that kind of energy, don't y'all know like the whole world would be in a better place, literally. Like literally, we would not be experiencing the demise that we are experiencing right now. But yeah, I think everybody should be moving with that same high level of energy about themselves. I really do. I think you should be treating yourself in a way that you only accept the best. And I think I said this to my lady that I was on the phone with. You only accept the best. Like I only accept the best. I only treat myself to the best. I only do the best. I only buy the best within my budget, right? Because I don't want nobody going into debt off this podcast. But whatever that is, so like when you're presented with a choice and you say, I could either eat, I don't know. Yeah, like let's go with wings and fries. I could have wings and fries for dinner tonight if I want to do that for my treat meal. Sure, why not? Yes, I love it. Or I could make what the better decision would be and eat on plan. Or I could, treat myself to a very nice, luxurious massage or facial or something that's going to allow me to feel really good about myself. Or I could take that same money and I could go into Target and buy a whole bunch of stuff that I won't even remember having bought 2 weeks from now. You see what I'm saying? So like when we're thinking about ourselves and the way we treat ourselves, I really want to encourage everybody to get into the habit where they're just like so in love with themselves that they wouldn't even dream of making a decision that would not be in their own best interest, And that's ultimately where my consistency comes from. When I'm presented with choices, as we all are every day, I always choose whatever is the best possible decision for me to make that day. And when you think about that, that means you're going to be eating healthy. You're going to be working out. You're going to attempt to get enough sleep. You're going to drink your water. Like you're going to do the things that you know are the better choices to make. And then when you do want to treat yourself to something, when you decide to do that, you're going to choose the best possible thing. So when you say, yeah, I think I do want a cheeseburger and some fries, like when I make that decision, I'm not going to a drive-through. Like I'm going to go get the best possible cheeseburger and French fries that I can find. So we always want to make sure we are just holding ourselves at such a high level that it keeps us in a position where we're making good decisions for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of vanity. There's nothing wrong with spoiling yourself. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself like you deserve nice things. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself like you deserve to feel good about yourself. And you know it in your heart and in your mind that you are happy with where you are and who you are. Once you get a hold of that, it's going to be very little that would be able to knock you off the wagon. Like just without even trying, you're going to make the right decisions. You're going to not skip a workout, or you're going to make sure you're eating the meals on your meal plan. You're going to make sure you always have that bottle of water with you so you can sip throughout the day, because that's what you do. Women who feel good about themselves treat themselves good. When you love yourself that much, you treat yourself like you love yourself. You treat yourself the way you treat the people that you love. And I think that's another way to look at it. If you knew that one of your friends was trying to, change certain things about her life, you would be cheering her on and rooting for her. And, watching her experience, you would be asking her about her workouts and y'all would be talking about it. And I think you have to give yourself that same love. You have to make it fun for you. That's why I got that fitness tracker on Etsy that we talked about, because I'm like, hey, I need another way to make this fun for myself. I need another way that's kind of like interactive, that forces me to say like, Tia, this is something that we're going to do, and we're going to do it every day. So I have been enjoying putting the little red stars on my tracker every day after I complete a workout. You just have to find what works for you and then do it. And as with all things, there will be days where you just don't want to, and that's okay. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take a rest day, but what I am saying, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, is that we cannot rest day ourselves into regression or into not doing anything at all. So that's not what we're talking about. But when you do get tired or you do feel sore, again, make some choices that make you feel good. So if you're sore, run yourself a bubble bath. If you need a rest day, get a little spa kit together. Do your skincare routine, do a face mask, put on some eye patches, make yourself a healthy snack, and then watch something on Netflix. Treat yourself the way that you feel in your mind makes you feel at your best, whatever that is. And that's completely different for everybody. But once you figure out what that is for you, then do it. I know for me, when I feel like I need a break or I feel like I'm burnt out, it really helps me to just say, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to do anything that makes me work too hard. I'm going to sit here and watch TV, or I'm going to sit here and watch my kids play. I'm going to order out, and I'm going to do the bare minimum today because I just need a day to kind of just like regroup and pull it back together until I feel a little bit better. So do the things that make you feel good. Treat yourself well because you deserve it. And once you get into the habit of not accepting less for yourself, from yourself, then I promise the consistency will just come. It won't even be like a thing that you even think about anymore. You will just be consistent just because of how you live your life. So one thing that I think is helpful for a lot of people, if you find that it's like weird to tell yourself things or whatever, almost everybody at this point has the voice notes app on their phone. Record yourself saying positive things to yourself and then just play it for yourself every morning while you brush your teeth and wash your face. Listen to yourself, speak positivity over yourself, and try, if you can, try to make it solely about whatever your health and wellness fitness goals might be. So tell yourself beautiful things. Say, like, girl, my skin is popping. We are so strong. Or I don't know if you want to do it in the third person. I do it like I just say my name. So I would say like Tia, girl, dang, you look good. Tia, you can squat over 200 pounds. Like, who is doing that? Girl, nobody. Girl, it's men out here that can't even do that, okay? These are the things I say to myself. So mine is very casual. I don't put too much thought into it. I don't try to make it overcomplicated or I don't try to make it super perfect. I just say nice things to myself. Like, girl, we might wear black leggings every day, but who is wearing black leggings like us? Girl, nobody, you know? I would tell myself like, girl, when you fill in your eyebrows, girl, they don't know whether you've had them microbladed, micro-shaded, ombre, or if it's a pencil from the beauty supply store. And that is how we like it. You know, I tell myself the silliest, but like the most truthful things that cross my mind in the moment. And it honestly helps me. Sometimes I think it's good for people to look at old photos of themselves, right? And you look at maybe where you might want to be again or where you used to be. And those offer a lot of perspective too. So I'll say to myself, like, Tia, girl, remember when we used to, like try to do our hair ourselves? And girl, you used to be out here looking crazy, but look at you now. Look at you now. Look at you now. Now you're natural. You have edges. Like, you can do so many things, and no matter what style you pick, girl, it looks good on you. Keep doing what you're doing. Start telling yourself good things about yourself. When you get into the habit of doing that, I promise you, the healthier habits, all of the ways that you would take care of yourself, they will just come. And if someone should ever say to you, like, oh, you think you're all that, you say back to them, I do. I do actually. And you should too. I would want nothing more for you than for you to think highly of yourself. Because I think highly of myself. I'm not out here trying to be frustrated with myself. Out of all the things in the world that are going to disappoint me, make me sad, make me frustrated, make me upset, I am not going to be a source of any of that for myself. So yes, I do think that I am all of that. And I would hope the same for you, sis. I would hope the same. Also, if someone ever says that to you, girl, that is not your person. You shouldn't be hanging out with them. I hope they don't have your phone number because we shouldn't be texting them and meeting them for lunch and like all of that. That's not your friend. That is not your friend. So if I could leave you with anything as far as it relates to the consistency, make sure you wake up every day putting forth the effort to make those healthier habits happen. Tell yourself positive things. Record something on your phone that hypes you up, something that you could listen to every morning. Play music and dance for yourself. Make yourself feel good. You don't have to wait until it's your birthday. You don't have to wait until it's summertime. You don't have to wait until you get off work on Friday. You don't have to wait for all of these other huge milestones to celebrate yourself. You could literally celebrate yourself for a few minutes every single morning when you get up. or every single evening when you get off work, when the day is over. You can do things that celebrate you and who you are. Buy yourself a new lip gloss, get a new lipstick, try different eye colors, or if you're into your hair, start getting into that more. If you're into skincare, start getting into that more. Do whatever it is that celebrates you and who you are. And once you start doing those things, once you start loving on yourself and you put the action behind the love that you have for yourself, you won't really even see a lot of the other things that are just merely distractions from what you should be doing, right? We are not so distracted when we are spending more time just focusing on and loving ourselves. I promise you. And I know this because I've done the personal research. This is literally how I live my life, right? I'm sorry if you can hear my bracelets hitting each other, but this is literally how I live my life. Sometimes people joke, people that know me joke and say I live in a bubble or I live in a little tunnel. And it's true. I'm so focused on what I have going on for myself. And of course, that doesn't mean that I totally ignore other people. I have very good relationships with other people. I love them to death. And the people that I know and I love, they know that I love them, right? So this is not a thing where we're only focusing on ourselves 100% of the time. But this is a thing where we say, I love me and I'm going to treat me like I love me. And because of that, you're not going to see me moving crazy too often when it comes to myself. I'm going to always make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward for myself, which means I'm going to try to hit certain goals each and every day because I know those small goals eventually add up to some bigger things that I'm working on. And I love myself enough to give myself the time to be patient with myself to see some of those bigger goals come to pass. It's okay for me to love myself enough. It's okay for me to have a good self-esteem. It is okay for me to walk around with my head held high because I feel good about myself. It is okay. I mean, what good would it serve if we were drinking all of our water and our skin was clear and we were working out and eating right so our bodies were banging? What good would it be to be working with all of that goodness and then you still walk around with your head down? For what? What for shame? Why would we do that? That's not who we are. That's not who we are. We walk around, we hold our heads high, we move with confidence, we move with that energy that lets people know they're not just about to treat you any kind of way. And that is just the life that we live, and that's okay. Move with that kind of energy where when you step into a room, even if you don't say a word, people can feel your presence. That's what you should be using as fuel for your consistency. Seeking a certain level of energy, seeking a certain level of confidence, because at the end of the day, it's not about the weight. It's not about what size you are. I promise it's not about any of that. Although I do understand that those are numerical goals and people like to have them for the reasons that they like to have them. But really, what we're all searching for is that feeling that when you're in Target shopping and you pass by a mirror, you look at yourself because you know you look good. That's what I'm talking about. When you walk by a mirror or your reflection, literally anywhere, you look at yourself and you say to yourself in your mind, maybe not out loud because you're in public, but you say to yourself in your mind like, yep, I look cute today. Like, still look cute. I knew I looked cute before I left my house, but walking by my reflection just now in this department store, yep, still look good. Yep, I'm still happy with myself. Every day I wake up. Every day the good Lord puts air in these lungs and he allows this little heart to beat. I feel good about myself. I feel good. That is an affirmation for you. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good about myself. I look good in whatever I wear. Even when my hair is not done. Like when I see those memes about people's hair not being done, so like they feel like less attractive. Nope, we don't buy into that. I look good even when my hair is not done. I look good even when my eyebrows are not filled in. I look good even if I don't put on makeup. I look good no matter what I look like. I look good even when I don't feel well. Because that is the kind of energy I want to move with. I always want to tell myself good things about myself. We don't buy into saying anything of the opposition to ourselves. We are not a space of frustration for ourselves. We eliminate that by just taking care of our bodies in a way that align with our goals. That is where the consistency lives. That is where it comes from. That is all the momentum that we need to keep ourselves going. Tell yourself good things and then treat yourself like those good things are true. And that's it. It is truly just that simple. I promise. I promise. And if you want to talk to me about that, you know where to find me. But I promise you, that is where it comes from. Once you believe it, put the action behind it, and there you go. And I know somebody is going to be like, but see, sis, where my problem is the action part. And I know that's what somebody is saying. Somebody is like, oh, I can talk, I can say nice things to myself. But that action part, though, that's where you know. And then to that, I say just take one day at a time. It's one day at a time. It's one workout at a time. And the more you do it, the easier it will become. And eventually it will become your lifestyle. But the mindset to want to do it is what has to be there in the first place. And what I'm saying is that the mindset comes from all of the other stuff we just talked about. Is speaking that positivity over yourself, wanting to feel good about yourself, wanting to have that good self-esteem, wanting to be able to move through life with a certain level of energy that makes you feel like you cannot be touched and you cannot be stopped. There will be very little someone would be able to do to take that from you. And to be honest with you, once you have it, it's just like your education, girl. Once you have it, no one can take that from you. The only person that can take it from you is yourself. And that is what keeps us consistent. So I hope somebody received that, because I felt like that message was also for me. It's always such a good reminder to just keep replaying those types of messages in my own mind. So I hope you received that. I hope you know it came from a loving place, because it did. So yes, we're going to be consistent all of 2022. We're going to put our best foot forward, walk with our heads held high. Even if we're not where we want to be right now, we are going to walk around like can't nobody tell us nothing. Because if they can't tell you nothing today, sis, and you're not even where you want to be yet, when you get to where you want to be, girl, they're going to have to go find less. They're going to go have to find less because you're going to be too much. And that's going to be okay. I would prefer to be too much. I would prefer to be too much. And I hope you do too. I hope you do too. Because we are all that. So when they say that about you, you say, you're right. I am. And you just smile to yourself. Because they don't know. Because they don't have it yet. What is in you, they don't have it yet. But you pray over them that one day they get it. Because everybody should feel this way about themselves at some point in your life. Because you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. So, okay, let's move on to the workout report. So I think I shared it on Instagram and maybe in the newsletter that I did end up getting the treadmill for Christmas, and I have had a chance to use it and take some walking classes and some running classes. And so let's just talk about that for a minute, because I said I would share my experience with it so people could kind of compare the bike to the treadmill. The treadmill, okay, so where to start. Okay, so typically when I would go to the gym and run, I would run for 30 minutes nonstop. I would get on that treadmill. I would put the speed at like 5.5 or 6. I would put the incline on either 0.5 or 1, and I would basically run a flat road for 30 minutes nonstop. I had gotten to a place where I could do that. I could run a 5K and it was no problem. I could do it. I did not have to take a break. I did not have to sip water. I didn't have to do anything. I could just run and do it. It was great, steady state, boom, and we were done. Let me tell you about the running classes throughout the Peloton app. they are nothing like steady state cardio. I mean, during some of the classes, they definitely will give you a flat road, something very similar to what I just described for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But for the most part, it is definitely interval training. Like you are running with that incline up high. And when I mean high, I mean up high. Like you're going up. You're going up, right? And your speed does not drop because your incline is going up. So, I mean, and they offer a range just for safety, obviously. And they tell you only do what you feel like is in your fitness level. But even in the classes that I've had a chance to take so far, where I have kept my numbers that they suggest on the low end of their suggestion, I have been like, oh my gosh, you have got to be kidding me. Who can run this fast going up a hill this high? Not me. I mean, I'm doing it because, they'll tell you we're going to be here for 45 seconds. And in my mind, I tell myself, well, you can do it. It's only 45 seconds. It's only 45 seconds. But I think the intervals that they suggest in class are enough to challenge me and push me, make me feel very differently than I do based on or if I'm comparing it to the running that I used to do in the gym. It's just very different. It's just very different. For example, in the gym, if I ran for 30 minutes straight nonstop, I'm definitely touching 3 miles. In the Peloton classes, I might not run that far, so my distance is definitely shorter. But I feel like I'm getting a better overall workout. And mentally, I think it is challenging me too, because, it's nothing. It's night and day. It's the two things are not the same. I'm still running and I'm still on the same type of machine, but the type of running that I'm doing, completely different. So I look forward to seeing how I grow. And I'm obviously excited about the results that might come from the running. And I would say the same thing about the walking classes, because they do have like power walking classes up there too. And they have hiking classes. So even if you took a lower impact class, like a walking class, you're still going to get a really good workout. Because they like to use the incline and they like to use the speed button. And when you combine those two things together, you're sweating. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm gonna just take this walking class because this shouldn't be too much. No, you're gonna be sweating. You absolutely will. It will be a good workout. So far, I'm really loving it. I have no regrets about that being the only thing on my Christmas list. I think it's living up to the expectations. Now, one thing that I will say about it that I think I wasn't expecting is, for one, that machine looks smaller in the showroom than it does in my house. And I don't know how that's possible, because the showroom in the mall here is small. Like it wasn't a big room at all. But the machine looks bigger to me here than it did in the mall. So that's one thing. And then also, I feel like the machine sounds a little bit louder in my house than it did in the showroom. And when I called them about that, they asked me different questions, like what kind of flooring is it on? I'm like, oh, it's on a concrete floor. So it's no subfloor or tile or anything like that underneath the treadmill. It's literally on a concrete slab. And the room that it's in, it's not insulated, meaning I don't have walls up in the basement now. So they were like, oh, okay, well, yeah, all of that would definitely play a role in how the machine, or the fact that you can hear the machine more because you don't have anything, I guess, like trapping the sound. So yeah, the machine is probably echoing. But what I noticed was, as soon as I started a class, I couldn't hear the machine at all. So once the instructor starts talking and the music starts playing, then I couldn't hear it. So, and she explained to me why the machine makes noise. Something about the belt and the seams and the way they are connected on the belt or something. I don't know, but she made sense of it to me. And once I start a class, I can't even hear it. So, that's pretty much where I am. I am trying to figure out how I'm going to go about cardio training, and making sure that I'm giving myself enough of a variety so I don't burn out on either the bike or the treadmill. So that's something that I'm going to keep playing around with maybe for the rest of this month, trying to figure out if I should just base it on my mood and what I feel like doing that day, or if I should try to follow some type of program that gives me a guide for how many days to bike each week and how many days to maybe walk or run. Some of the other programs, because I'm using what I have. So we already talked about this. I'm working out at home now that Omarion is doing what he's going to do. I'm home, so I'm using the app again, and I'm exclusively using the app because I just didn't see the point in trying to go outside of that because I'm already paying for the app every month, right? So I'm doing a strength training program on the app. It's a 4-week program, and then I'm doing an ab program too. So I have all of my needs met. And of course, I'm still playing with that trampoline. I've been sharing that on Instagram in my stories, and I've had people writing to me in my DMs saying that I'm making them feel like a trampoline might be something they want to have. And so let me tell you about that trampoline. It looks fun, and it is fun. But if you YouTube or go on to I think it's Jump Sport Fitness, if you go onto their Instagram page, they kind of show you what type of rebounding you should be doing. And once you catch that rhythm of the rebound, it is a workout. Like, that's why I say 10 to 15 minutes, and you just kind of mix it into something you're already doing. And I think it's perfect. I don't know that I would want to do more than that on there, which is so strange because I used to teach a 60-minute class on the rebounder, but we weren't bouncing the whole time. And I think that's the difference. I was teaching a bar bounce class. So for like half the class, we were doing bar on the trampoline. And then for portions of the class, we would be doing some bouncing, but then we were also doing floor work. So we weren't on the trampoline solely for the whole 60 minutes. So now that I have one at home, I'm like, oh, okay, I could probably do 2 to 3 songs, 10 to 15 minutes of this, and I'll just weave it into that day's workout. So for example, I might do, let's say I did like a 20-minute bike ride. Then I would do a strength training class through the app, and I would do my core training with Emma on the app. And then maybe I would end because I like ending with something fun and like light beat. So maybe I would end my workout with 10 to 15 minutes bouncing on the trampoline before I would do some type of like cool down stretch. And I think it adds just enough variety to keep me from getting bored with what I'm doing. So that's kind of where I am and what I'm doing. I'm still filling out my Peloton tracker every day, so I'm making sure that I'm using the app. And as a person that really, really loves going to the gym, it has been a challenge to me to use what I got at home. Just like we keep saying, eat the food you got at home. I'm like, Tia, use the stuff you have at home. Use it, use it, use it. So it's been fun. I feel like the tracker is really helping me. Oh, and another thing that I don't think we talked about last time, but falls into my personal workout report, is that I'm also doing dry January. So for the month of January, I haven't been like drinking any wine or champagne, which we know when I watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I love having a snack and having me a little wine or champagne to go with it. And I haven't been doing that. And I feel like it's only been is today the 14th? It's January 14th. And I feel like I see results from that, which I do every year. Anytime I do a dry month, I automatically see the results because that's eliminating so much sugar from my body. So I'm also doing that. And I feel like doing the dry month along with making sure that I'm being active every single day is getting me back to where I like to be. And that's just super, super consistent. Now, the only thing with that this time around, though, is that I want to make sure I don't go too far. I feel like I really like where I am right now. And if I saw some changes here and there, like some slight changes, I would happily receive those and be thankful for them. But I don't want to like train to the point where I'm making like drastic changes in my my appearance. So that's what I'm working on right now, trying to figure out how to get to a place that I'm happy and then just maintain that without, getting any smaller. So we'll work on that and see what we can do. But that's my personal workout report. If you are doing something new, or you have a piece of at-home fitness equipment that you think I would find interesting, share it with me, because I'm always looking for things to try. My husband texted me not too long ago about something that one of his coworkers is using that I guess he claims he's having a lot of fun with, and he finds it to be successful, and I'm going to order it. I don't want to say what it is right now, because I don't even know if I have a good description for it. I might not do the description justice. So I'm going to order it. And after it gets here and we use it, I'll share it on Instagram and then I'll kind of report back about it. But if you have something that you think you found in a store somewhere and you think it would be worth a try, share it with me and I'll take a look at it and I might try it, because I'm always looking to have different things that I can use to kind of keep things spiced up around here. So that's my personal workout report for now. Getting into some of the more random things. I don't know if you have been watching Abbott Elementary, but if you have not checked it out yet, please get on Hulu. I think it comes on ABC, but I've been watching it on Hulu because, girl, you already know I cannot watch live TV. So I've been watching it on Hulu, and it is so funny without trying to be funny. Like, it doesn't try too hard. It's just so well done. Like, it's such a good show. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out because it's hilarious. I have also been watching And Just Like That on HBO. It is the Sex and the City reboot. And to be honest with you, I don't think that show is good. And I get the nostalgia. I get why people are excited for it. I get why people are watching it. I completely understand that people are in love with these characters from way back in the day. I, too, used to love Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, and Samantha. I was very excited when their movies came out. I went to the theater for both of them. Like, I was a heavy watcher of the show. I was loyal. And I felt that up until now, it was great. And I feel like they should have just left it like it was. Because now it's hard for me to watch it, but I keep watching it because of the new characters that they have introduced. Nicole Ari Parker is on the show and I really love her. So I keep trying to watch it or at least play it while I'm cleaning up or folding clothes or something, just to support some of the new women of color actresses that are up there now. But it has been a tough watch. And I don't really want to get into all of that because if you haven't seen it, I don't know what people would consider to be a spoiler. But if you've watched it, please let's talk about that. Please DM me, because I just need to hear someone else say the same things that I'm thinking about this show that I know it's not just me. But it has been hard to watch. I'm going to keep watching it though, because I want to support it so that the new actresses on the show can possibly be given a spinoff. Or maybe they'll get their own show of some sort, or, I just know the exposure and the ratings. I know that all of that matters in that world. So I keep trying to support it, but oh my gosh, sometimes people just shouldn't reboot things. And I think this is one of those things that didn't need to have a reboot. And I would say the most recent episode, this is going to be a spoiler. So it is what it is. Hopefully you are caught up. If you're not caught up, stop listening at this moment. But this new episode where Carrie goes on a date, I'm just like, so let me help me understand here. In the beginning of this, and again, stop listening if you have intentions on watching this show and you haven't watched it, because I'm about to spill it. Carrie's husband dies, right? In episode 1 or 2. Then I don't know how many episodes it's been. Let's say we're on episode 7. She's already dating again. And I understand that they tried to do the time lapse thing. And I think it's been a year, maybe, since he passed away, and now she's going on this date. And you know what? And this is how you know this show is bad. Because in the beginning of this season of the new show, when Mr. Big died, I said to myself, oh, well, that's the only way that they could make this interesting. He has to die and she has to start dating again, because that is what Sex and the City was about them, or her mainly. Well, her and Samantha, kind of their dating lives. And Samantha, as you know, is not on the show. And I feel like she is the reason why the show is not good anymore, because she was the one to watch. Just how Kim told her sister she was the least interesting to look at, Samantha was the most interesting thing about this show. And without her, it's just so boring to me. But I mean, you know, I'm going to keep watching because I want the new actresses to get the ratings that they rightfully deserve. And the fashion on it is still very lovely. So it's not like it's all for nothing. You do get to see some good looks while you're taking it all in, but it's not that great. They should have left it alone. Some other things, I've been doing really well with my casual promises so far. I've been keeping my gas tank off of E, so that's great for me. I'm loving that. I'm loving not having to rush or like try to escape AAA by having a full tank of gas. That's awesome. This weekend, they are calling for a snowstorm, so I have tried to prepare us for that. I feel like I've gotten everything a person is supposed to have, just in case we get trapped in here with these 3 kids. I am going to go out in a little bit and try to get a couple more things that I think would just make it a smooth, snowy weekend. You know, if the snow is as bad as they say it's going to be. But other than that, I think, you know, I've done a good job of preparing us for whatever they think is going to happen. I think. So yeah, I have not tackled my closet yet. I think I talked about that on the last episode, about trying to get my closet under control. I haven't done it yet, but it's only January 14th. So I feel like I still have some time. I have the rest of January to get in there and make that closet more organized and clean. I really do. Or at least those are my intentions. I'm also progressing towards starting to decorate. Like I said, I actually went out yesterday and I was looking for things for the house. I didn't find anything that I like, but at least I did go to the store and actually look. I feel like that's one step in the right direction. Coming up in the next couple of weeks is my 38th birthday. I will be 30 great. I'll be the big 38 on February 7th, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to celebrate. You know what? Growing up, like as a kid, my parents definitely threw us birthday parties like here and there, maybe for like a milestone birthday or whenever you said, can so-and-so sleep over or whatever. Like we definitely recognized birthdays growing up, but not in like a crazy, like over the top way, you know? And then I think as a young adult, I never made my birthday like a big deal. Like I'm pretty sure in college, maybe me and my girlfriends would like get together and do something to celebrate each other's birthday. But as an adult, I don't think I've really ever like made my birthday special, or at least I didn't do that until recently. So I would say maybe after I turned 35 or 36, maybe it was 36. I think it was somewhere around my mid 30s, because now I'm starting to push towards my late 30s, right? Somewhere around then, I think I kind of just decided that, you know what, I'm going to start making a big deal out of my birthday. Because I do that for everybody else that lives in this house. And you know what? That goes back to treating ourselves like we love ourselves, does it not? Okay, so when it is anyone else's birthday that lives in this house, I decorate it. I make sure they have all their favorite things. I make the weekend all about them. We do exactly what they say they want. Whatever gift they ask for, they get it. Like, I feel like I'm definitely checking the box of making birthdays and all of that special. Obviously, within the past few years, it's not like we have had any birthday parties or anything like that because of everything that's going on. And then on top of that, we had only lived here for a year and we were new to the area before the whole pandemic thing happened. So we haven't really had a chance to do that. And I know other people are probably still throwing their kids' birthday parties, but I'm like, oh, if we can avoid the mixing and the gathering, that's what we're going to do. But, in lieu of all of that, or in spite of all of that, I have still made, and I always have for their birthdays since they were born, I make a big deal out of them, decorate, get all the things, do all the things. I am like Joan Clayton at her highest Joan Clayton when it is time to celebrate someone's birthday that lives in this house. And so what I realized was, since I am the party facilitator, I'm the party planner, when it is my birthday, is that something that I need to outsource? Like, how does that work? And so what I learned was, Tia, if you want balloons and banners and things going on for your own birthday, looks like you're going to have to start planning that too. Because while my husband might be great at like the gift giving thing, and he certainly is, at the end of the day, partially or mainly due to the amount of time he probably has, he is not going to be hanging streamers, balloons, banners, all the things that I do. He's not, and I have to let him be who he is. So I'm like, I need to start making a big deal out of my own birthday and celebrating the way that I want to, treating myself to things, doing what I want to do, and really enjoying myself that one time a year. So I'm trying to determine what I want to do for my birthday this year, because right now I have no idea what I would like to do. If I would like to attempt to go somewhere and do something, or if I want to, keep it local and do something here. I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm thinking about it, and I'm very excited about turning 38. I am, mainly because I'm excited about turning 40, and I understand that before I can turn 40, I have to be 38 and 39. But yeah, I am becoming one of those people who's very excited about her birthday. And I've never been like that before in all of my 38 years. I mean, I was always happy that it was my birthday, but I can't truly say I was like excited to the point where I'm like, ooh, what am I going to do for my birthday? But I'm starting to feel like that now. As I approach my 40s, I'm definitely excited about my birthday now. And that is a good feeling to have. So I don't know. We'll definitely talk about that again, probably during the first episode of February, because by then I should have figured out exactly what it is I want to do. The only other thing that I think is going on right now is that I did make that appointment to get my hair braided. And so and we know when I bring the braids back, that's when I'm serious about working out. That is when I'm serious about working out. So I can still be cute when I'm not working out, but definitely I'm able to work out and not worry about the hair situation. So I did make that appointment. I'm super excited. I'm getting knotless braids because I love those, because you're able to like do ponytails, buns, all of that. And I think I asked her for like a bohemian situation where some of it will be like loose hair, but then like braids. I'm just right now trying to figure out what color braids to get, because I do have my hair colored. My hair is blonde, but my hair color has started to grow out. So my roots are my natural darker hair color. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do about that. I'm like, should I get blonde braids because the longest part of my hair is blonde, or should I get hair that matches my roots? And I'm not sure how I feel about my roots being one color, but then the braids being one color. I don't know. I don't know if I'm able to pull that look off. So I got to keep looking on Instagram to see what I think about that. But knowing me, I will probably match that hair color to these roots and just keep it moving. So we shall see. But I'm excited about that too, because that's going to give me one less thing to think about every single day when I wake up. I don't have to worry about doing my hair. And now that the temps have dropped, we are no longer in wash and go weather. These days, your hair needs to be dry, which if you're natural and your hair is short and you're natural, you know how important a good wash and go is. So I'm excited to have dry hair every day that I don't have to do or even worry about doing. I love that for me. So that's it. Thank you for coming to Tia's Table. Please share this podcast with someone that you know. If you enjoyed a particular part about it, feel free to share that with me on Instagram at Tia V Fitness. I am always so super excited and happy to sit here and talk to you all. I will be back in a couple weeks with a birthday episode when we turn 30 great. 30 great, 30 great. Yes. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, girl.